Dan?
Yeah, what?
No, we'll try that again. Dan,
Talk to me, Terry.
last week you were like really negative. Beyond negative. Right?
Yeah, okay, I was.
I understand that. The game's not where we want it to be right now. The Sharks aren't where we want them to be either.
True.
I want you to be a little bit happier this week, please.
I can do that.
Try it. Right now. Try it. Hey all, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at TopSport. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Dan, I'm going to let you tee off.
I tried so hard
tried.
to be happy, but this week the NRL was good. It was very good. Some
cracking games.
Some cracking games, some fantastic highlights, but all everyone is talking about is the referees. Mm-hmm. I want to extend that a little bit to the officials. Right now, Terry, in front of, you, the camera, and both viewers.
And the millions.
And millions of doubles and the dozens of viewers. I want to say, touch judges.
Oh, useless.
Get rid of them. What's the point? We're just paying someone to stand there with a flag. Gone?
Yeah.
Bunker? Sink it?
No.
Useless? Diabolical? Horrible? Terrible? Just get a chicken to peck yes or no, or toss a coin, because you're going to get more right than the current lot. Terrible weekend. 3 games were decided by referees. The smugness, Terry. I'm done. I hate the refs. I hate them. I positively hate them.
It's a tough gig being a referee out there on the, they've got to, what's the field across 50 metres?
No,
right?
It's more than 50 metres.
Across? No, it's 100 long. What is it? What?
About 70.
Yeah, maybe.
You'll sit between 10 and 100.
They've got to keep their eye on that. They've got to keep their eye on the ruck. They've got to get people back on side, right? So it's hard, and they may miss something. But we have hundreds of cameras. You have 2 officials on the sideline. That's why I say you've got to bring the ruck person back. You need a second referee.
Look, if I'm being serious, you are correct. 100% correct. Please go on.
My issue now, and I said this on the Knock On podcast, and by the way, if you didn't already jump on there and have a look at that, it's a lottery. It's a lottery, right? The Nathan Brown send-off, I had no issue with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
He sprinted out of the line to put a shot on. Now, if you're going to sprint out of the line...
You've got to get it right.
Yeah, and if you... this is the thing. If you get it right, it's spectacular. Mm-hmm. If you get it wrong, you take your marching orders. Now, people are saying, it's harsh. He was on the field for 37 seconds. I don't care if he was on the field for 37 seconds, 37 minutes.
Doesn't matter.
He's off.
Good point.
Right?
Yep, I agree.
The Mo Fodawaker one. Mm-hmm. Now, I could have lived with a sin bin.
Yep, I agree.
I'm fine with a send-off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay? I don't disagree with that either.
The Jerome Luai one was the worst of the weekend. Mm-hmm. Okay, left his feet, didn't wrap, hit Nelson in the face.
Caused him to lose the ball too, because he went got the ball.
Now, I see loads of people are turning around going, it was on Nelson, who cares? I was one of those people. Right?
Yeah,
in hindsight, I was one of those people that said,
enjoy your life.
He did it to Nelson. Instead of fining him, the NRL should pay him. They were my legit comments, right?
Fair enough.
But if we're being serious here, he should be facing 3 to 4 weeks on the sideline.
Yeah, it was a penalty.
Yeah.
That wasn't even picked up at the time. No, there wasn't. There wasn't a penalty, rather. He was put on report and will pay a fine. Please, go on.
That was because it was further on down the field when they picked it up. Mm-hmm. The Tom Burgess one for mine, right? I get why it was a sin bin, because there was 4 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, okay, there's 4 minutes left in the game. You bin him, you send him off, what does it matter?
Doesn't matter, yeah.
If there was 15 minutes left in the game, had Tom Burgess been binned, I would have been furious.
Fair enough. It was much like the other.
It was much like the other ones as well. So that's the issue that I have there. It's a lottery because you've got Jerome Luai who gets fined $3,000. You've got Mo Fodawaker facing 1 week. You've got Nathan Brown facing 1 week. And you've got Tom Burgess facing 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Whereas Jerome Luai's was the worst. Yeah. And I'm happy that Mo Fodawaker's facing 1. I think Nathan Brown 1 to 2 weeks would have been good. And I think Tom Burgess is a serial offender and he deserved 3. Now, this is Jerome Luai's 3rd offence.
Yeah.
So that should have been extra grading. Gets away with a fine.
There is zero consistency.
No,
it's not even a joke anymore. And I want to put it very there. There's a lot of people that have come out and said, it's corruption, it's this and that. It's not. It's incompetence.
Yeah.
It's just a lack of consistency by people that are being paid to do a job they're not very good at. Now, once again, being a referee is difficult. I've known some referees through the ranks. I myself refereed at a semi-high level, albeit at soccer. And my thing was I just let everything go unless I absolutely have to blow a free kick. And a lot of people agree with that. But in a high-class game, you can't do that. It's just not the way to do it. And I get it. But when you see yesterday in the Canberra Tigers game, a ball travels 3 metres forward.
Twice.
There
was the forward pass and the forward
and the
bat
ref
on.
says no. And then later, there's a beautiful inside pass that's pulled up. And yeah, okay, that to me says square up.
Yeah.
Which I know they don't do, but in your head you're thinking, ooh, yeah, I'm giving that because, nothing ventured, nothing gained. This past weekend, pretty much every game had one fan base blowing up. Now, that's not unusual, but this time it was justified. A lot of people look at the Cronulla South game and goes with 11-4 penalty count or whatever it was. Oh, the referee this, referee that. Teams can be more ill-disciplined than others. I completely get that, Terry. But again, Canberra won yesterday and are now in, fifth? Yeah. And the Tigers are pretty much guaranteed to win the spoon on a tremendously, abhorrently terrible forward pass. Twice. They've got every right to blow up. And Canberra, Ricky Stewart goes in there and Dare says, oh, we didn't get the rub of the green. You need to shut up, Ricky Stewart. You've lost your marbles, but that's another rant for another night. Anyone out there this week who's bagging the refs, I usually call it lazy this week. I'm right in your corner. Get better and drop the smugness.
Let's just bring the mood up a little bit right now because we're not in this race, but there's a race for the wooden spoon.
There is.
Now,
and what a race it is.
It is. Now, I think the Dolphins have avoided it.
Officially,
in their inaugural season. Can't do it. The Dogs, I think they got a couple of games in it. They've got the worst for and against in the competition, but they're sitting on 20 points.
They look okay. It's going to be... What are the Tigers on 12?
The Tigers are on 12. The Dragons are on 16.
Well, there you go.
So
you can put the Dogs.
Yeah, you can put the Dogs in the almost safe basket. I think we're handing it back to the Tigers, which brings me great delight and great agony in the fact that I've only got 3 tips right in this entire year.
Karma, some would say.
Yes, very good, thank you. But, I mean, at the beginning of the year, we picked the Warriors.
We did.
And they're third. Last year, we picked the Cowboys. Yep. And they were third.
Yeah,
so if you want to come third, just ask us to...
Next year, let's lock it in, the Tigers wooden spoon, because I want to see if anyone can break the jinx of being terrible when we say they're terrible. It's the Tigers.
Yeah.
Who I am locking in right now as the wooden spooners, because I saw enough from the Dragons yesterday. They should have won that game against Parramatta. They were refereed out of that game too.
Yes, they were. That was, It
was...
And I just want to say this. Michaela Ravalawa, man. He has the ability to be the best winger on the planet.
He does.
And the worst winger on the planet.
Easy for you to say.
In one tackle. The same tackle. He can be absolutely brilliant.
He scored 4 tries and broke 1,000 tackles, and I've tweeted out, he's better than Micah Sevo. He's what Sevo thinks he is. And the next set, they run straight past him and he does this. And come on, Micah. Man. Give me one tackle, brother.
He's so good.
He's fun. So good. He's entertaining. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, that sums up much of that Dragon side. Zach Lomax has been the best player for that club for the past month, since coming back into first grade by a long time.
He was pretty quiet, though.
He was. Now, yesterday's game, he had a 3-on-1 on the inside, or he had a 1-on-15 out here, and threw a pass that went straight to an opposition player. When Ben Hunt's screaming, give it inside, that's the most Zach Lomax thing I've ever seen in my life. Now, I still rate him. I think he'd make a great fullback next year. But the Dragons have been that one play away from a few wins. I think they're safe. That Tigers team, as brave as they were against Canberra, have been blown out by some terrible sides this year. And are going to go backwards from last, which is very difficult to do. They're going to go last.
They're going to go from 16th to 17th.
And we take no joy.
Team to do it. I do. I take great joy in that.
Officially, I said that on Zero Tackle, and someone's like, oh, the Crushers did it back 20 years ago. I don't care. For mine, the Tigers are the first team to do it.
Now, the run home. We're putting it down to 10 teams. So
10 into 8?
Yeah, I'm locking the Panthers and the Broncos in.
That's brave.
Yeah, I'm locking the Warriors in. I'm locking the Storm in.
Fair.
And after today, I'm locking the Raiders in.
Yeah.
But let's go through the Raiders and everyone else on the way home. Now, the Raiders have the Storm away. Tough game, but they've got really good results down there. History down there. So I think that's going to be a classic game. The Storm get Jerome Hughes back. and a couple other players who were ruled out.
Maybe Coates, yeah.
Yeah, talking Justin Olam's going to come back in as well.
Fair enough.
Ryan Pappenhausen's going to play a couple more games at the Falcons.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's a finals.
Yeah.
He's what you inject on the finals, right? Then they got the Dogs at home. I think they're going to win that.
Yep. Once again, very brave of you.
Yeah. They've then got the Broncos at home, which, you know...
It's going to be tough, but in
you
Canberra...
never know what Raiders team's going to turn up down there, though.
That's
Like,
true.
they've got the ability to be so good and then get flogged by Newcastle and win.
They do. That is Canberra. What is for sure is they'll either lose big or win 1-12.
And then they've got the Sharks away. So I don't see them winning 2 games, but 2 games keeps them safe, right?
They're 2 points clear of the pack.
Yeah.
They're in.
Yeah. Now the Sharks, Titans at home, should win this game. Should win this game. Cowboys away, injuries creeping into their team, inconsistencies, but the Cowboys really, really need to win that game.
They do.
I liked what I saw from Cronulla against the Rabbits. If they continue that for the rest of the season, they'll handle the Cowboys.
Yep.
Newcastle away, going to be a tough one.
Win Newcastle, absolutely.
Yeah, 5 weeks ago, if you told me Newcastle away, I would have said that's gift 2 points and 20 points on you for and against. Not anymore. Right? Callum Ponga is the best player in the comp right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they finish with the Raiders away. Now, if the Raiders are locked in to the 8, they'll be resting players, and if Cronulla need to win, they're not going to. So
typical Cronulla.
So I think...
it's a tough run, but
it's
a couple of winnable games. Yep.
Newcastle, 27 competition points, sitting in 7th, have got the Bulldogs at home. Win. The Rabbitohs at home. Tough game.
Yep, tough.
The Sharks at home. Could be a
tough
tough
but
game.
yeah.
And they finish the season with the Dragons away.
Win. So they got 4 guaranteed.
They've got 4 points guaranteed, and I think that gets them into the finals.
Yep.
I think 31 points will get them into the finals. Then you're looking at South Sydney, who have got South Sydney got the Dragons at home.
Win.
The Knights away.
See, that could decide it.
Then they've got a bye.
Oh, they'll win that.
And then they've got the Roosters at home.
Could be when you're in, you don't, you're out. That's not the game I want to be playing to win, like to get in the final.
That's it. And I think they'll get 2 wins in the bye, which puts them on 32 points.
Yeah.
And gets them into 8th.
Gotcha. So you're writing the rest off?
Well, here we go, because it gets harder. It gets harder for me. So the Cowboys, they've got 2 points this weekend locked in. They've got the Sharks at home, the Finns away, and they finish the season with the Panthers at home.
Penrith may be resting players.
Penrith may be resting players as well. The Cowboys for and against are going to come into this.
Yeah, that's a fable-ish draw. Obviously, looking at Penrith, you think not.
I think they're going to come 9th.
Yeah.
I think the top 8's going to stay as it is.
Look, fair enough.
I think it's going to stay as it is.
Spoiler alert.
Parramatta, gone. They're paying the price for a terrible start.
Terrible mid.
Dylan Brown, and a tough run home. The worst run home of the lot. Broncos away. Nope. Roosters at home?
Maybe.
Probably, maybe. Yeah, I don't think so. Panthers away. And I think that's when Penrith are going to know if they can wrap up the minor premiership or not. I think that minor premiership race is coming down right to the final. So I don't think you're going to see either team resting players.
That'd be ideal.
And then they got the bye.
Yeah, well, there's
now they need to win the 3 games,
and they need to win well. Their for and against is terrible.
Yeah, they need to win all 3 games and the bye to get to 34 points.
Yep,
they're gone.
They need other teams to lose too. Yeah, their future's not in their hands. Gone.
Now we talked about it for Cronulla off air that results in the last 3 weeks, despite us losing, went in our favour. That's not going to keep happening now. So Cronulla need to lift. I think the top 8 is
set in stone.
Set in stone.
Look, fair enough. I want to pivot, Terry, and say that some teams that we aforementioned are going to make the 8 by default. I.e., despite trying not to play finals football, they're going to get there because 8 teams have to qualify. The Raiders struggled against Tigers, don't deserve to be there. Cronulla's form's been up and down, and you could argue they don't deserve to be there. The Cowboys and Parramatta especially don't deserve to be there. There's like South or another team who you looked at, and we didn't even include the Roosters. They don't deserve to be there. Titans are going after losing this week.
The Knights, 5 weeks ago, the Knights were in the bottom 4.
Yeah, you're laughing at them.
7th.
I mean, I like teams that come good at the end of the season. I think they time it right. So I'm
really
okay
well.
with them.
Yeah.
But if they come out and lose this weekend, you're going, oh, that was for nothing, and they don't deserve to be there.
But this is the great thing about the Knights and the Sharks. You could almost say the winner of that game hosts the other team in the finals.
It very well could be a 6 versus 7
Yeah.
thing.
I think it's great. I think this is it.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of the top 8. A lot of it's fodder, but it's fun. You get 4 weeks of finals, whatever it is. You got to finish the top 4. So, the race for top 4 is important. I'm not saying we should bring back the top 5. But if you were ever going to, this is the year. Because there's 4 good teams, there's 3 okay teams, and then there's the rest. A top 5 this year would be super exciting.
Top 6, just so we get in.
Well, top 6, 5 and Cronulla.
Yeah.
But, again, going back to these sides, Canberra are just... They haven't won a game yet by more than 12 points.
No.
Are you kidding me? When's the last time a team did that in a season?
2008.
Well, outside of, okay, Penrith and Brisbane have been fantastic. I still put the Storm right up there.
Yeah.
And the Warriors have been out of this world. Even if the Warriors don't win another game this year and bounce like Cronulla did last year, it's been a tremendous season. Outside of that, though, there hasn't really been a good team. There's been teams that have played well, but then they've turned around and played really, really badly. So, default, the 2 most, amazing words in the dictionary, because we'll be fine. I think one of them will be us.
Just on that, who can beat Penrith? Because I'm looking at the Penrith team, and then I look at their reserve grade team, and then I look at their flag team, and then you have a look at the SG Ball, and you have a look at the Harold Matthews, and you just see this strong production line of players coming through. And it's not just who can beat them now, but you're talking about a team that could literally dominate. Yeah. We talk about the decades of dominance that Melbourne had or the Roosters had. They only won 2 comps, right?
Yeah, which is great.
You're literally they could easily win it this year, go and win it next year, and then you're probably talking about 25, 26. And the worst part is they don't need to go and recruit. They
don't.
Just look from within.
It's Gus Gould, for all the things he says that I don't agree with, said that this is a team that could win 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I want to argue because, it gets annoying watching Penrith win every year. You can't, though.
No, you can't.
Like you said, the production line's ridiculous. They lost Kikau and they lost Api Coruscant, 2 superstars of the game. One of them's turned into a complete as he left, and Api Coruscant's the best player the Tigers have had in 20 years. And they've replaced them with, I won't say nobodies, but players that you think, okay, they're okay. And they're like wall beaters. Scott Sorensen has turned into a wall beater. Luke Garner's played very well and was unlucky not to get in the side. Mitch Kenny.
Zach Hoskin goes and plays centres.
Peachy comes in after playing terribly for years and comes in and plays centre and could play there for multiple. They signed Dane Laurie for next year. He's the backup 6 after they lost Jack Cogger. It is super frustrating. Right now, if you told me who's the only team that can beat Penrith, it's Penrith. If they come out and they play disgustingly bad, or they all get COVID, or probably going to need both, they can lose a one-off game. That's why it's so exciting, these grand finals, because if Adam Reynolds goes ballistic or Sean Johnson has the game of his life, I used to say Manly were the only team that can beat him because Turbo at his best can blow anyone apart. Not anymore, but in years gone by. It needs to be individual brilliance that you've never seen before, or Penrith have to play disgustingly bad on the night.
Whilst I love that the Broncos have gone toe-to-toe with them this year, I see the Warriors making the grand final against Penrith.
Are they the team that can beat Penrith, or are they just the team that gets there?
I look at that Warriors team with Adam Fanua-Blake, Tohu Harris, Mitch Barnett, the form that Wade Egan's in, Metcalf,
Johnson.
Nickel Clockstar, the 2 wingers. And their role players are coming in, right? And then you've got a sensational player like Sean Johnson.
That's true.
So I think that I don't know if they'll beat them, but
they're the team.
that's the team for mine who's playing Penrith in the grand final.
I'm going to go controversial and say Melbourne. Now, I know Penrith have dusted them twice, but not once have Melbourne had their strongest side. This weekend, everyone was talking about how bad Melbourne were. They were missing their halfback, who the week before was tremendous. And when they're missing Hughes, and their centre combo, with the greatest respect, was terrible. George Jennings got injured and Wishart had to play on the wing, and they took him apart, the poor kid. He had to mark Brian To'o for 70 minutes or 65 minutes. They were in hiding to nothing. You put Jerome Hughes back in, you put Xavier Coates back in, you get Justin Olam backfiring. I don't know if Rema Smith can come back in. I don't think Rema Smith. But there's someone else in there. And I'm going to go as far as to say, if Pappenhausen's fit come finals time and Meany goes into centre, you get Pappenhausen firing, that team can beat anyone. Nelson, I don't think Christian Walsh had an overly good season, but he can hold up
Harry
the thing. These are players who, if they all fire, they're the only team that can match Penrith if Penrith don't play particularly well. Jerry,
Talk to me, Dan.
let's talk some black, white and blue, and it's good to celebrate a win for once.
Are you going to be positive, though?
A little bit.
No.
A little
doubt
bit. A little bit.
I've seen the run sheet.
Yeah, completely fair. It is here highlighted. Do you want to talk first, or do you want me just to get it out of the way?
Look, I will talk first, and I will...
Please don't take my points, Terry.
I'm not going to take your points. So Saturday night rolls around, and I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't watch the game.
Fair enough.
I went to watch Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, you were otherwise engaged, didn't you?
And I turned my phone off. I watched the first 4 minutes of it. I saw Blake Bay pass the ball to the dirt 3 times, and I just thought it was fitting.
Yeah.
And I turned my phone off, and I thought, you know what? I'll just check the scores at full time and be done with it, because I don't want to live through the heartbreak, and I don't want South to toy with us, right? So I checked the scores at full time, and I just went, nah, surely that's a glitch, right?
Yeah, right.
So then I jumped onto Twitter, and I saw all the negativity.
Yep.
All the negativity from yourself, from Vossi, from everybody else. I just had to go through it, and I was like, did we win? So I went to NRL, and I saw that the score was on there, and I finally believed it. And I went home and I watched the game. For 65 minutes, I was like, this is amazing. Why was everybody blowing up? Final 15 minutes, man. Wow. Now, before the game, we got the tip off that Mawini Hiroti was in over Ronaldo. Ronaldo didn't travel, neither did Kale Liro. I wanted anybody but Hiroti in there. I apologise. He was great. Apart from that drop ball towards the end, I thought he was really good. He held his own, when he needed to. He took some tough runs. That's all you can ask from him, right?
Can I just jump on, speaking of positivity? Yeah. Mawini Hiroti was the best player in the park for the first 60 minutes. The try he scored was fantastic.
Yep.
Latrell Mitchell wanted no part of it, right? What I like, though, is not the second... So he saved 2 tries. People will say 1. Now, there was a break that Munro went round and looked to pass inside to an unmarked Campbell Graham. And Hiroti just dropped and just ran and got between them. He went to pass, saw Hiroti there, got held up, and Connor Tracy brought him down. If he doesn't make that chase, if he isn't that quick, that's a try under the post. It's 12-6. It's a completely different game. Then in the second half, I believe it was, or later in the first, try Campbell Graham for your life, and Hiroti held him up.
Yep.
So he contributed to 3 tries.
Yeah.
So please, I just want to get that out because I thought he was tremendous.
There was also when they were making their comeback, and Munro ran around him, and he ankle tapped him.
That was Trindle.
It was, it was Trindle. So I'll take that back, yeah.
But Hiroti, in the first 60 minutes, was best player in the park. His last 20 we won't talk about.
But I thought he was really good. The issue that I had was bringing Moylan back into the team for Jesse Colquhoun, right? And I know there was a lot of what ifs, and we spoke to people and they said, oh, he's there in case Tracy has a shock or if Trindle was bad or whatever. Don't pick him.
Don't pick him, man.
If you're sitting, like, this is the frustrating part here, right? Is if you're sitting there going into your game plan on the weekend going, I need to have a backup in case my starting fullback or my starting 6 aren't firing, then don't pick them. Just put Moylan back into the team, right? Because what's happened in that final 15 minutes, we were absolutely flogged.
Taking a point, but please.
Yeah, we were absolutely flogged, and Matt Moylan played 0 minutes, right?
He did.
So I sorry for taking that on there.
That's completely fine. I'm going to redouble down.
Yeah. Now with Trindle, I thought he was brilliant. That line that he ran for his first try, the backup for the second, the kick that he put in was gross, right? Now Hiroti sprinted to get that. Talakai, I don't know what he was doing, but we got a great rebound, right? Katoa breaking Latrell Mitchell's ankles will go down.
Career.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Katoa scored the try, but after he broke the ankles in the south, if he dumped the ball over to the top, Hines is in under the post. Instead he goes and scores next to the corner.
But Hines kicked it.
Oh yeah, look, hindsight.
Yeah, hindsight. Look, Jesse Ramian though for that try.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like Ramian has been unbelievable.
The last 3 weeks he's been our best. Yeah.
So look, there were a lot of positives to take away from it. Tom Hazelton again is phenomenal. Jack Williams is just bringing everything.
Again, another 65 minutes.
Yeah. I'll jump in because I know what you're going to say about Jack Williams. So when you're on there, but look, overall, the 2 points is the 2 points, right? And it's a point that I've got in here. That's this 4-game swing. We had the Warriors, the Panthers, Manly. Oh, sorry, the Warriors, Manly, the Panthers, and the Rabbitohs. And we said in that game we would take in that stretch we would take 2 points, maybe 4. We took the 2 points, just not the game that we thought we were going to. And the only time our 4 and against really got a blip that we didn't see coming was against the Warriors.
True.
So we've come out of that. We're 6th.
Yeah.
Probably not where we wanted to be, and going back that Manly game now really, really sucks because we'd be 3rd.
Yeah, it's a killer.
Whatever, you take it, you live with it, you roll on. Dan, you feel a little bit different.
I do. Now, I said on air, on Twitter, anywhere I could be heard or seen, I said that I will take 2 points if we win due to a refereeing disgusting decision and we win 2-0 in the last second. Because we just needed to win, and I don't care. I said if all Souths get COVID, and we joked earlier in the day that if we get a forfeit, I'm taking the points and I'm running to the hills. Because a win was all that mattered, and I'm glad it did. At 26-0, we were flying. Absolutely flying. But in the pre-game, we get announced what we'd heard was rumoured earlier, and then that was that Jesse Colquhoun was out and Matt Moylan was in. And I straight up said, I'm done with Fitzgibbon. He's not a coach. And our mate Mole tweeted, he needs 2 years. And I said, look at South's bench, mate. I said, look what Moylan's done. He's not our coach. Now, everyone in the game after it was like, are you going to delete that? No, I'm not.
No.
Because with 10 minutes to go, we were getting flogged. And I'm thinking, who have we got on the bench? Would have been nice to have Jess Colquhoun. Now, I would have brought him on with 20 minutes to go just between us because Toby was blowing late. Jack Williams was tired and missed a disgusting tackle on that young Tallis kid. Who is a freak just quietly.
He's so good.
You had Hamlin Ueli, didn't look fit. Now, I know he's come back from about 30 injuries. I'm not bagging him. And Tom Hayes got concussed. Which brings me to my second point. We had a forward injured. HIA'd, taken out of the game. Doesn't matter whether it was Cat 1 or Cat 2, he wasn't coming back, so it was less than 11 minutes or 7 minutes, whatever it was. It wasn't the 15 real time. Burgess was sent to the sin bin. We can activate our 18th man, who just happened to be Jess Colquhoun. Why didn't we put him out there? We could have got a fresh player who we got kissed on the proverbial with an opportunity to put him out there. A like for Tom Hazelton. He sat there, he didn't even warm up.
No.
Now, Moylan didn't come on, which was good because I don't want him defending in the middle. But why don't you put him on there? He's fresh. Okay, he should technically be better at defence than what we had on there. And before, we saw a bloke who weighs 120 kilos and has muscles made out of granite miss a 90-kilo back rower off a kickoff because he was exhausted.
Yeah.
You were given an opportunity to bring a player on via luck, and not Tom Hazelton. It was unlucky for him, but in terms of the game plan, and I'm sure Tom would have thrown himself into an elbow and gone off injured as long as we could get Colquhoun on, and we still didn't go to him.
No.
We won in spite of Fitzgibbon. And again, 26-0 up, no team loses from there. Cronulla should have lost because Munro dropped a pass from Nico and should have ran 80 metres untouched and shit himself and dropped the ball. And then he went round and Trindle ankle tapped him. Munro looked, stood up, laughed and dropped the ball. He scores those 2 tries. We're talking about a loss from 26-0. We needed South to be terrible late because we cannot wrestle back momentum.
Yep.
Now, you look at that result and I would have humped your leg for 26, whatever it was. But looking at it now, I'm super happy we won. It may not come across that way. We needed South to be terrible and drop 2 certain tries that would have won the game. We needed Latrell Mitchell to be disinterested for 70 minutes and not try and tackle our blokes when they scored 2 tries. This is going back to what I said. We cannot outplay teams. We need them to be worse than us. 26-0 we led, and I'm still unhappy about a win. That is pure terrible coaching.
Now, Jack Williams, right, you either love Jack Williams or you dislike Jack Williams. There's no in between, right? But if you saw Jack Williams last night, you had to love him. You had to love him because he came off the bench and gave us what we haven't had for a very, very long time, and that was momentum, that was physicality. He changed the game, right? Then he got tired. He pushed Cam Murray when he shouldn't have. They score a try, he misses the tackle. He's exhausted and he comes off the field. And then Tom Hazelton gets HIA'd and we put Jack Williams back on the field. He's gassed.
Terrible coach.
Toby was gassed, right? And we say this every week. Hamlin Ueli was gassed. Royce Hunt was okay, but he was gassed. Hazelton gave us everything that he could, and he was gassed. We had the fresh guy. Now, the rule state, and I've gone back and looked for it, right? If you lose a player from foul play, and it's put on report and the player goes to the sin bin, you can activate your 18th man.
100%. We lost him. It doesn't matter, Cat 1, 2. Now, I think it will be Cat 1. He'll probably not be available next week. Which
Well,
means,
they didn't say that. They said it was Cat 2.
Oh, okay, well, that's good if he passes. If not, you'd obviously think Colquhoun comes back in. But we've seen this week that they don't rate Colquhoun. So I don't even want to talk about it next week. I'm happy, but I'm unhappy, which is the life of a Sharks fan.
Now, with Fitzgibbon, right, this season, like last year for mine, he didn't learn anything. He breezed through this on the back of an unbelievable season. This year, he's learning some really, really hard lessons in the coaching box, but he doesn't seem to be taking anything on board with it, right? And again, he's still playing this blind loyalty. Like, there was no need for Matt Moylan to be on the bench. He played 0 minutes. There was no need for him.
He was never going to get on unless Trindle was bad. Yeah. What does that say? Yeah. Trindle was fantastic, by the way, and I just want to get my shots in. I've been calling this for a year and a half. He should have been there.
He was easily our best player, right? But
it's good to be proven right.
Jesse Colquhoun should have been the 17th man, and even if you had no plan for him, the final 15 minutes of that game, you could have turned around and said, you know what? I've got a 110 kilo bloke down there who's fresh as a daisy, and he's going to go and rip someone's face off.
Yeah, get on and make 15 tackles.
He watched his best mate get shoulder charged in the face. As if he didn't want to go out there and rip someone apart.
I can't.
Ah, man, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We've got the 2 points.
A win is a win.
That's all that matters, right? Because elsewhere we're not getting the 2. Well, we got the 2 points in flag.
Yep.
It was a bye.
Yep, it was.
So we got the 2 points in flag. Newtown, if anyone, like Dan and I are the world's biggest Newtown fans and we picked them to win the competition, that was because we didn't expect Cronulla to capitulate and take all their players away. Right now, obviously it's more important that Cronulla win in NRL than it is for the Jets to win the New South Wales Cup. But at the same time, this is Newtown. They're not Cronulla, right? Yeah. So they want to win for separate reasons. We've just gone and extended that deal. And I don't like it.
No, we would...
I love it and hate it because I love Newtown. I'm invested in the Newtown Jets.
You'll have to go a long way to find a bigger Newtown fan than me. I don't want to be in a position where Cronulla are playing Newtown because I'm just going to be like, oh, what the freak. I love going to Henson Park. I love watching the games. I love the song. I just love Newtown, right? A couple of weeks ago, we said that if we get an opportunity to get out, I would be because, okay, so people that don't know, so we provide players to Newtown, but Newtown have a coach. They set the game plan. They pick the players. We can say, hey, we want Stone Street's available. Of course, you can pick him because he's better than anyone else. But ultimately, if they want to go left to the Newtown side, because who trains all week with Newtown? The Newtown contracted players. And then you get players like, Hiroti and those players that are there all the time. They go to them. He trains with the Sharks. He gets thrown there on the day before.
Yeah, Hiroti trains with the Sharks. Iro trains with the Sharks. Trindle, Puru, they all train
Stone
with the
Street,
Sharks.
Beryl.
Yeah.
So Newtown...
Speaking of Beryl, he was brilliant.
He was brilliant. He's got to get a game somewhere. I don't think it'll be for Cronulla, unfortunately. It's good because it saves a lot of money. But outside of financial, it's negative because we can't say, oi, we want Stone Street to play in the centres this week because, Talakai, we want to move into the bench and we need Stone Street. They're going to say, yeah, but he's better for us on the wing, which he undoubtedly is. It doesn't suit us. Now, Kyle Iro was ruled out this week for illness. He didn't play any football, but last week we saw him touch the ball, 5 times in 80 minutes? This guy should be touching it twice every set. That's where we need to step in and say, we need Hero doing this, this and this. And they're quite within their right to say, no thank you.
Yeah.
So there's positives and negatives, but we'll leave that for another time. I'm happy, but meh.
Now, another negative.
What didn't make me happy though, Terry, was the NRLW team.
8-0?
8-0.
Blew it.
They did blow it. Now, I was there at the game with Cleve and a couple of the boys. Nath, shout out. Jimmy, it was great to see everyone. Saw lots of familiar faces. Girls tried their guts out. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was anything less than 100% effort.
That Titans team's really good, though.
The Titans team, well, they're the only undefeated team. They're leading the competition. They've recruited very, very well, but they were missing their best centre. When I saw that she wasn't there, I was like, ooh, because I wasn't real confident going in because Jada Highlight was out. Holly Wheeler was back, but, under an injury cloud. And Tonegado
didn't look right.
And I was just like, oh, we might steal this one. And at 8-0, I'm thinking, that's not enough. We've got to score again.
It got stolen, though.
It did. With 5 minutes to go, I looked to the boys and said, we're going to lose this in the last play. And they said, yeah, probably. And that happened. We lost the ball, and they went left, and they scored. And the girls defended all day, and you could still be playing now. It's going to be 12-10.
I mean,
We just can't score any points.
the defence is unreal from our girls.
Really.
We just, as I said, apart from that, the Raiders game where we haven't been able to put points, but it's such a strange competition because we belted the Raiders,
You did.
lost 10-0 to the Tigers, and then the Raiders go and beat the Tigers.
They did. Now, those that haven't watched the game, Tonegata went in with a calf complaint. Now, I don't know if that hindered her or anything, but about halfway through the first half, she was running the ball every set, and she was looking really, really good. This woman cannonballed her off the ball and took her out, broke her in half, and she's there grasping. I thought she was done.
Was it a penalty?
No, it wasn't a penalty. Everyone's sitting there going, oh, that's a penalty. And they had a look, and it was late, and there was nothing wrong with the tackle. It was just late. It's a penalty. And I would argue a sin bin, but I'd be like, split second, whatever, it happens. We spoke to Emma after the game, said, how's the ribs? She said, I'm struggling to breathe. Now, I have no doubt in the world. She wouldn't admit it because she's a warrior. If you got ribs that are like sitting up here and here, you're not going to run the ball as much because you're like, I'm not going to die here today. And I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm saying that's kind of what happened. You take our best attacking threat out, and we didn't, Andy Robinson was good at fullback, but Jada Highlight is make or break. She'll be back next week. I can exclusively reveal that we were standing above where she was, and we said, Jada, are you playing next week? She said, absolutely, or 100%, thumbs up. So there you go. She's playing next week, which is great. So we'll beat the Roosters at home on Sunday.
That's a tough one.
We may beat the Roosters, but we're in a better position. I am not going to speak negatively. It was
great.
It was a bugger.
It was a really good game of footy to watch. The NRLW is just growing.
It's kicking a lot of goals.
The girls are just providing great entertainment. As I said, if you're disheartened with the NRL product, just turn over.
Go watch the other.
Just go and watch the girls. They need some love. Our girls will turn it around.
They'll still play finals. But Terry, we have a Sharks team in 2023 who is defending like superstars, second best defensive team, second worst attacking team. It's upside down.
Dan,
talk to me, Terry.
It's my favourite segment. Except I have to pick the Tigers.
TopSport tips.
Yeah,
TopSport tips. Shout out to the people.
We got a perfect round between us again this week.
We
always do.
It's too easy.
It is. Yep. Now let's
do it again.
Let's run through this on Thursday night. Manly, the season's done and dusted. And they host the Penrith Panthers.
Penrith by 1,000.
Yeah, look, Manly are good.
They got no forwards.
They're valiant, but
they got no forwards.
They got no forwards. They got no go forward now. Cherry Evans is trying his guts out. It's not working.
They got no 5'8" either. That bloke does nothing for 79.5 minutes, does a chip kick and goes on 800k.
Yeah, no, get rid of him. Penrith for mine.
Penrith.
6 o'clock, Friday afternoon. It's us.
Horrible time slot.
Yeah. Against the Gold Coast Titans. Now, from what I saw from Cronulla, this should be a win.
This is the most must-win game of the season.
From what I saw from the Titans, they're good without being great.
Yeah, okay.
And
no Tino, no Mo Footawaka.
Yeah.
Tanner Boyd's playing.
AJ Brimson. Injured.
Yeah, Brimson's out. Tanner Boyd, I'll be bagging him for 6 weeks. He's going to have a game of his life this week.
If Cronulla are serious about locking up a final spot, they got 2 points last week they didn't see coming. They need to get these 2 points here as well to keep the pressure on because there's some other teams around us who have got some tough games.
Yep. This is our chance.
This is our chance to, steal it.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is.
Lock it in.
It's lock it in. The higher up the ladder you get, the less you have to worry about the teams underneath you. If you're sitting 8th, you're constantly looking over your shoulder. If you're sitting 5th, you kind of look down and going, things are okay, right? So I'm going to pick the Sharks.
I'm going to tip the Titans.
In a jinx.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, go the Titans.
8 o'clock, Friday night, I think this could be the start of the cord being pulled out of Parramatta Eels as they travel to Brisbane to take on the high-flying Broncos.
Oh, the Bronx. Beat the Cowboys without Adam Reynolds, if you don't mind. In Townsville.
Jock Madden looked really good in that game. I am hearing that Adam Reynolds is back. Yeah, so
I don't think it matters.
Doesn't get any easier for Parramatta. Regan Campbell-Gillard's back for this game, though.
That's good.
I believe. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They just don't have the class.
Yeah.
They're good in the forwards, but their back line is...
Yeah.
I was calling for Zach Sini today, and then I thought, Whoa.
Yeah, and it was desperate times when, Parramatta again apparently reaching out to get Connor Tracy for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, there you go.
You've left your run too late.
It's a no from me.
Go for Kale Hero. Go for Kale Hero. That's what you want to do.
That's what they should be doing.
It doesn't matter what they do here. The Broncos are going to win.
No, Brisbane are going to win, and there's talk of, Brisbane this, Brisbane that. They're going to mind a premiership to win, because if Penrith slip up, Broncos go up, that would be humongous. They win and win easy.
Yeah, and don't forget the Broncos are going to buy up their sleeve as well. So pressure's on.
They'll win. They'll win this game.
They'll win this game. 3 o'clock to start your Super Saturday. In a not-so-super way, the Rabbitohs are taking on the St George Illawarra Dragons.
The Charity Shield rematch of the century.
Now, the Rabbitohs in 8th in a spot that nor you nor I saw at the beginning of the year.
They're in a spot of bother, I dare say.
Yeah,
They'll win this game, though. Come on.
I mean, I've liked what I've seen from the Dragons recently. They're showing a lot of heart and a lot of fight. They really want to stay away from the wooden spoon.
You know they give premierships for showing heart and fight, but still losing?
Yeah, but they don't give premierships for coming 8th either. I think the Rabbitohs will win this game, but it's going to be a tighter contest.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a blowout. And I'll tell you what, we need to see more from Latrell Mitchell to put South in the serious contenders.
I'm picking the Rabbitohs here, but as a Sharks fan, looking at results going around us, I want the Dragons team that turned up for 50 minutes against the Eels to be there. I want the team that showed the heart to beat the Tigers. I want the Dragons team that's been showing a bit of fight lately to turn up and not let the Rabbitohs blow them out, because we just need the Rabbitohs for and against to just...
Come on, little brother.
Stay where it is.
Come on, little brother.
Now, speaking of little clubs, the West Tigers are hosting the New Zealand Warriors over in...
Way over there, yeah.
Over in New Zealand. Now,
Shout out to the Tigers.
The little club being the Tigers, they are gross.
Yeah, they're not much chop. I think
I hate them so much.
Completely fair. Who you tipping? Just quietly.
I'm tipping the Warriors in this game.
No, I don't think you are.
Dids?
No, not tipping the Warriors. We're not going to let you off.
Give me one.
Sorry, maybe in the last round, but probably not. The Warriors for mine. I don't think I'm breaking any news there.
The Warriors for mine.
Officially the Tigers. Sean Johnson, put him down for however many Dalian points. 1,000.
Surely
all of them.
Surely he's going to win the medal. He has to. And to finish your Super Saturday off, the Sydney Roosters are facing the Dolphins.
Now, the Roosters aren't gone yet. Officially. Unofficially, they're gone. They'll beat the Dolphins, and they'll keep the maybe going for another week. But I'm not overly confident, because even the other night against a broken Manly side, they were ordinary and they got there by being less terrible. I think they'll do that again here.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Roosters in this one. And Sunday afternoon has got a good game and a game that I could probably live without. But 2 o'clock down at Amy Park, the Melbourne Storm are hosting the Canberra Raiders. How this game is in the 4 o'clock game.
Yeah, swap them, please.
I mean, this is the marquee matchup of the...
So important.
Oh, my God.
The winner goes in with huge momentum.
And this is what I'm saying here, right? If Cronulla, and again, looking through my black, white and blue goggles here, if Cronulla can win their game against the Titans, they look at this game here and go, we jumped the loser.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a better forehand against the Melbourne, and we've got a superior forehand against the Raiders. That is like a negative 2 points for the Raiders.
Yeah, it's real bad.
So, got to go on that. I'm going to pick the Storm. Jerome Hughes back. Talk Justin Olam back as well. I'm going to pick the Storm.
I haven't liked what I've seen from Canberra, but every time they play down there, they win, so I'm going to tip them again. Don't forget, it's not Amy Park. It's at the other thing they play at, the big empty stadium, because the World Cup's not finished.
Oh, it's at Marvel, is it? Yeah, it's at
and
Marvel.
You can marvel with a Storm loss.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe.
4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. This is a game that I want to watch, but not at 4 o'clock. It's the Newcastle Knights taking on the Canterbury Bulldogs. The Knights dismantled the Dogs a few weeks ago, put 60 on them, and this was the start of their run, I do believe. And I don't see that run ending. This Newcastle team is so much fun. Yeah. Injury cloud over Bradman Best? I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't matter. I think
him the week off.
They don't need to play him. They've got enough backs.
I've heard them saying, we're sweating on the fitness of Bradman Best this week. If you're sweating on the fitness of Bradman Best against the Bulldogs, no, don't. Just leave him out. Give him the week off. He's in sensational form. He ain't going to lose it.
No. I think...
The kid's finally woken up and realised that he pisses excellence.
He does. Newcastle for me.
Yeah, Newcastle. Hey all, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at TopSport. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow Dan and I everywhere we go. Fins Up Podcast, the Knock On.
Yeah, on Zero Tackle.
Now.
We're everywhere.
Yeah,
too.
we're doing some great things here as well. Give us your feedback. We love bringing you guys content. Daniel?
Mate, I feel I've been very positive tonight.
Are you positive about Rugby League?
I am.